Hello, this is Matt Jarrell, video editor for DailyFlipz, coming to you once again with the DailyFlipz podcast. Today I am here with sports editor Blake Sutherland. Blake, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. And yourself, Matt?
I am doing very well. So, what story have you come with today?
Well, over the weekend I was able to go cover Wright State's women's basketball team as they were in the second round of the WNIT and they took on Michigan where they lost by about 5. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was 5 they lost by.
Lost by 5. So, as a sports writer, what made you want to do the sports department of DailyFlipz?
Well, it was really interesting how that came about. I think it's from my experience writing for The Guardian here on campus. I'd originally gone into there wanting to do sort of news. I'm a poli-sci minor, so I wanted to do something else like outside of sports, even though I really like sports. So I originally wanted to cover the presidential debates that were going on at the school that never actually happened. And when I went to apply, they said, oh, well, the sports writer position is open. And they kept sort of pushing me to that. So I was like, okay, I'll cover sports. And sort of the same thing happened in DailyFlipz. I was like, well, I'm already writing about sports. I'll go do something else. And when I saw there wasn't really any sports writers, I said, I'll go over there and I'll continue to write about sports. But it's something that I really like to do.
So you really enjoy sports. During the initial process, when people were picking out the departments that they wanted to write for, was there any part of you that wanted to write for a different department or maybe even be an editor?
There was a part of me that wanted to be an editor. I mostly wanted to be a writer. I really enjoy writing. I like the whole process behind it, and I feel that's something that I'm fairly decent at. But it's the idea. I didn't want to continuously write about one thing. I wanted to sort of be multidimensional in my writing. I didn't want it to just be sports. But if it is just sports, I'm not going to complain about it because, again, I really like the idea of writing about sports.
So I've noticed typically your writing focuses on the WSU women's basketball team. What is it about the women's basketball team that makes you continually write about them?
They're a really interesting group, especially to follow this season. I mean, the men's basketball team were too, but there was a lot of uncertainty going into the women's team this year. Their coach had left and taken another job, so Katrina Merriweather, who's the head coach now, she was in a first-time position, never had a head coaching job before. They had the transfer Chelsea Welch. She came in from Pitt, and you never really knew what to expect. But then the season started to get going, and by the time we were writing in DailyFlipz, they had just started to go on this win streak that would end up tying the WSU win streak for the both women's and the men's program, winning 13 games in a row. So I thought like the idea of that and to see how far they could go. At one point, they had gotten a vote to get into the top 25 for the Associated Press. So it was a really interested team to follow.
So there was that kind of initial worry with a new head coach never having a coaching job before, but do you think that their performance overall this season has shown that their head coach has what it takes?
Oh, I think definitely it showed that she has what it takes. I mean, she was an assistant to Coach Bradbury, who was there before and had a very successful run in his couple of years with the Raiders, and she was head coach of the year for the Horizon League. And I mean, the record showed in what she can do with a team that mostly is made up of sophomores and freshmen. It was kind of outstanding to watch.
Very good, very good. Well, Blake, I want to thank you for coming on the DailyFlipz podcast. Congratulations to the WSU women's basketball team on a fantastic season. Blake, thank you for coming on.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Happy having me.
Well, this has been Matt Jarrell once again with the DailyFlipz podcast.